What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, man, I know your boy is back home, obviously, as you can see. I'm back in my office, but I had a great time traveling to Europe for the first time, going to Denmark, going to Sweden, and of course, this video gonna be talking about my experiences traveling to Denmark for the first time. I don't know why my hat feeling tight right now, but uh yeah, man. First and foremost, if you haven't seen the Swedish video, my experience traveling to Sweden first, that's where it all started because I flew to Copenhagen first. So that all kind of goes into that. But I didn't stay long. At all. I was probably there for like 10 minutes before I was already heading to Malmo. But if you go watch that video, you'll hear the flight story. The flight story is there. How I almost missed my flight. How long the flight was, how tight it was, and stuff. But we got there. And stuff like that. But before we get into this, just going over just how it started, where it started from. At the end, by the end of my Swedish adventure, I made my way back to Copenhagen. So before we get into that, y'all hit that subscribe button. If you got any more questions you would like to ask me, send it my way. I'm still doing reactions, so if you got reactions, you got video requests, I'll post a link so y'all can send those to me as well, man. But oh man, it's good to be home, but I already miss it. Man. Especially when I got to Copenhagen. And I know my Swedish people's gonna be mad because in Sweden, I did a little bit. I probably had it figured out by then. By the time I was done with Sweden, I had Copenhagen figured out, and I was like, "Oh, let me do that." And we're gonna get into that and stuff as well. But a few people asked me some questions. I put a community tab post down, and some people asked me some questions. Of course, some was like, whatever the same questions is that we asked about Sweden, just give us that. But I know I did receive some different messages, but let's take it all back where we started. Of course, left Sweden, went straight Central Station. By this time, I figured things out, know what I'm doing, so buying tickets, getting on the train, no biggie. I got on the right train, right time, all that stuff. I was prepared. So once my train came, I was helping other people. They were like, "Is this the train?" Oh yeah, yes. It's the train to this. Yes. I was already, people were asking me questions, So, but it was just one of those things where I feel like in Sweden I had it figured out. And I seen some other comments. People were like, "Oh, you should have been taking the metro, doing all this. You're doing all this walking around." My goal was to walk around. That was my goal and plan, to walk around at least places I could walk around. Not to mention in Sweden, I was walking like 50 minutes away from me where I was staying and all that stuff. So, which I didn't mind. Because I just wanted to explore. Like I was walking around at one point, didn't even have my GPS on, and it was definitely a full circle. Like I don't know how many times I stayed in the generator. I don't know how many times I I walked. It was like in the front of it, the back of it. I knew I made my way back, from the opposite direction. It was pretty cool just walking around and being able to do that. But yeah, I'm on the train, of course, 4 hours, no problem. Pretty good train ride, smooth train ride. I downloaded some videos on YouTube, or the Wi-Fi was great on the train. The Wi-Fi was great. The SJ2000, great Wi-Fi, shout out to them. But finally make it to Lund Central Station. Yeah, I drove out of Malmo. My ticket said Lund, so I went to Lund Central Station. Guys, this next train, I don't even know the name of it. I jumped on a different train, which we had to. I just forgot what it was called. Let me see if I can. Okay, here we go. I found my old ticket. No, not that one. Let's see. Maybe it's the Ursundstag. I don't even know if I said that. Ursundstag. I think it's that one. It started with an O. Pretty nice train. It was like orange, grayish type of train. Um, Guys, I get on this train. This thing is packed. It's packed. It's nowhere to sit. And I'm looking around like, I'm thinking to myself, because I'm like, dude, I'm still like 50 minutes away. We're like 50 minutes away. We're at Lund, at the Lund Central Station. Like, we're still in Sweden, technically. We still have 50 minutes. And on top of that 50 minutes, a couple more stops before we get, God, this train was so packed. And every stop we made, it was like one person, two people were getting off versus 10 to 20 people getting on there. And people had those big suitcases, like they were moving there. They had those big suitcases, and I'm on the thing. I'm by a guy. He had a bike on there. People had their bikes on there. This man had his bike. He had a bike cover. He had his bike with a bike cover, helmet, everything. He was just standing on a wall. So I'm trying to lean over, not hit his wall, not hit his bike and touch his bike and stuff like that. He was kind of slightly moving it over, like, don't touch my bike. Or he might have been making room for me, but it was no room. I was right in front of the bathroom, so people walking through, the bathroom door just pops open, close, pops open, close. I'm just like, I hope y'all lock this door. I don't want to see nobody do number 2 because somebody accidentally popped that door open. But that was probably the most packed train going there. It was packed. That thing was packed. I couldn't wait to get off because it was so many people. Super, super packed. But then we finally made it to Central Station. No. This is that. I was on this train. I was heading to Central Station, right? But I remembered, I'm like, I did my research while I was in Sweden. I'm like, I need to go here because I can walk. My walk is like 8-9 minutes if I go to Uderstad. If I go to Uderstad, I would only have an 8-minute walk. So I was like, it's no point in me going all the way to Central Station. So I'm looking at my ticket, looking at the map. I'm like, okay, I need to go to Uderstad because if I go to Central Station, I'm pretty much going to pass it. Probably have to buy another ticket just to get back to Uderstad. So I was like, forget it. Because I think Uderstad was like 2 or 3 more stops before you get to Central Station. So I'm like, I'm just going to get off here. Like, I'm like, I think this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I looked up and did all that. This is where I'm supposed to be. Lo and behold, I got off and that was where I was supposed to be. So I was like, okay, that save me a couple more dollars and another train ride over back to there. Because I didn't know at first. I didn't look at it to see that Central Station was going. I was going to be going past that, just going to Central Station from Lund, Central Station. So I get there and I'm like, oh nah, this is nice. This is real nice. It looks real nice. I stepped off the train, and then I'm just like, wow, this is amazing up here. The big buildings, the unique buildings. So of course, I make it there at 11. My check-in wasn't until 3:00. So I went and they were like, you can check in. Check-in don't start until 3. So they were like, we have a storage downstairs where you can put your bags and you can just walk around, do whatever you want to do. So I'm like, oh, okay. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm just like, how much is the storage? Like, I still got about, 4 hours? Like, I got 4 hours before I can check in. What do I do? So I go in the lobby. I sit, take a nap or something, at least for 1 to 2 hours. And then those last 2 hours, I was just like, okay, let me go do the storage thing. Let me just go see how much it is. And I went and put my bags in the storage, and I think it charged me like $1 or something for an hour. So I was like, okay, perfect. So that's when I went and walked because I seen the fields, but I'm just like, okay, this got to be a mall because it has a bunch. I just looked on my maps and I just seen that it was a bunch of stores just in that place. I'm like, this got to be a mall. Got to be. So I was walking, and lo and behold, I went in there, walked around, ate. I just ate McDonald's because I was like, I didn't have that much time because the storage was like an hour, or I don't know if you will lose your stuff or nothing like that. So I just waited. So I went in the mall, ate McDonald's, kind of chilled out for an hour. Or 50 minutes, because by the time I got back and, made it there, that time was already ticking. But got back, just waited around the lobby, and then finally I was able to check in to my hotel. I stayed at the Cabin Metro Hotel. Real nice hotel. It was so small. I don't know how to explain. It was super small than what I was used to back here in America. But I feel like it's one of those. It's like as long as you got a place to lay, it was still cozy. Because it's like, who's going to be, when you're going on trips and going on vacation, who is spending most of their time just staying in their hotel? Like, the whole purpose of going on a trip and stuff is to get out and do some things instead of staying in your hotel. So I feel like that was perfect size. At least for one person. I'm glad two people was in there. It would be super tight because it was still just a little bit smaller than the generator, which I stayed in Sweden, and we had 6 people in there. So that's another story. But yeah, once I got out, I went back out to explore. So I'm just walking around. I said, I need to go look at this metro. Because one thing first, I was like, I need to make sure I know how to get home. So I won't miss my plane and all that stuff. So I'm walking to the metro. Mind you, I didn't realize the train that I got off of, I went upstairs. It was like further down there. So I went straight upstairs like that's where I got off at. But it was honestly the metro. So I'm seeing like the day passes. I'm seeing the different passes that you can get. And this guy steps off. I don't know if he worked for the company, but he steps off and helps this woman. He gives her a ticket because she didn't get the right ticket. He explained to her. He was real nice. He explained to her like, hey, you just supposed to get this ticket because this is 24 hours. You got the wrong ticket and stuff. But he still had to fine her. It was like 70 or 700. I can't remember how. I just seen 7 and 2, maybe 2 numbers after that. Danish kroner. I don't know. Maybe it was 70. I don't think it would have been that much, but they ended up fining her just because she didn't have a ticket and stuff. Mind you, I bought these tickets and nobody never checked them too. So I was just being safe. I was just being safer than sorry, But yeah, I'm just peeping scene. So I start figuring out. He started explaining, oh yeah, you get the 24-hour pass. You can go anywhere, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, oh yeah, the train station is back there. You just keep walking and go down. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's where I can. So by that time, I'm feeling good because I'm like, yeah, I know where to go. I know what to do. I know how to move around. So, of course, that's what I was waiting on the next day when I had a full day ahead of me. I was like, I'm going to get my 24-hour pass. That's what I'm going to do. So, of course, I'm walking around, eating, doing all that, looking at the nice view and stuff like that. And I got shorts and stuff that I posted of just the beautiful view, just the nice buildings that surround there that I enjoyed. And, of course, that next day, got up, ready to go on my adventure in Denmark. So first thing I did, head to the metro station. At first, I didn't know where I was going. But then I was looking, on the metro thing, and I start seeing familiar names that people were like, oh, go this place, go this place, go this place. So I seen Christiania. Christiania or something like that. I think that's what it was. So I was on the M1 metro. So I'm like, okay, let me go here. Somebody told me to go here if I want to see this. So get on the metro. Mind you, we had a couple of stops. And of course, it's saying the stops. So I didn't have to worry about, it is going to, I seen the names of them and it was showing it, or they were saying the stops when they were stopping. So I ended up getting off, and right when I get off, kid you not, I'll walk up the stairs to get, from the station. I thought I was in Amsterdam. I was looking, I'm like, first thing I seen was a bunch of bikes. Then walked like a minute away. Then I see a big canal. And I'm just like, dang, I'm sure y'all seen that on the video. I'm like, this kind of look like Amsterdam. This look too familiar. It's like I thought I got off in Copenhagen, type of thing. But it was cool to see that area that I don't even remember the area other than that it was Christiania. It just looked like Amsterdam. Of course, I took a canal boat ride and stuff like that too. But I was like, wow, like it was a little, I don't know. It was tight. It was tight in there, but you see a lot of bikes and all that stuff. So I make my way to start walking and all that stuff like that. And I run into the colorful houses that I wanted to see in New Haven. and they were doing a lot of construction around there, but it was packed. It was so packed at first I didn't even realize I was there, because I seen the construction and it was just a lot of people. But when I got there, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Even before I got there, I'm taking like 20 or 30 pictures. Because I'm like, oh snap, this is nice, this is cool, look at this view. It was a very nice view, can't lie, very good weather. I know some people would like apologize for the weather and stuff. I thought it was nice. I thought it was still nice. Sun was out, everything still looked pretty good. Even when I was in Sweden, like there was one time I walked in the rain, and that was because I got hungry. So I like just went down the street to like Pizza Hut because I got hungry again. But other than that, I never really got caught in the rain or, the coldness or nothing. Like I always used to wonder in the videos when I would see of Denmark, Sweden, like the sun looked like it's beaming. People got sweaters. Some people had tank tops. That was the same thing when I went out there. And I had a sweater on, had to come out of it. And the highest was like 65 to 68 degrees, guys. And I'm burning hot. Of course, I've done a lot of walking and all that, but I'm burning up. And I'm like, dang, it's only 68 degrees out here. But I get there and I'm just walking, strolling, kind of getting some clips and stuff. Then I see this. I was just walking by, didn't even notice. And there's one girl was ordering a hot dog. I said, ooh, this the hot dog I'm supposed to be eating. So I stopped because I didn't get to eat breakfast or nothing like that. So I stopped. I got me a hot dog, guys. Oh my, that thing was so good. And y'all seen, I just showed y'all the clip of it. I could even videotape myself eating. That hot dog was so big. It was so good. Guys, I put my camera down, my bag down, and I went to work on that hot dog. That's how good that thing was. I know y'all probably want to see the first tasting. Guys, I took that first bite. I said, nah, I gotta take my time with this. I gotta put all this down. This thing need 2 hands to eat it. It was that big, man. It needed 2. I had to hold it with 2 hands and eat that thing, man. It was a good size hot dog, man. It was delicious. And I'm over here eating by the birds. I'm just praying that I didn't drop a piece of bread for them to come and think I'm just the bread dropper over here. But it was nice. It was nice. Then did the canal tour. By that water gets very cold. I did the same thing when I did the boat tour in Sweden. I was glad. At first I wanted to take my jacket off, but I'm like, nah, that water, something about that water, and it just gets a little cool, So, but we went around on the canals. It was real nice, real cool, seeing everything. That's when I spotted the Little Mermaid. They told when I got on the canal, I think I would have just been walking, don't know where I was going if I didn't take that canal tour at first. And ended up seeing the Little Mermaid. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go there next. End up seeing somebody else, Michelangelo. I forgot the statue with the naked guy. End up seeing that one too. But the Little Mermaid was packed. It was packed. It was packed over there. But I thought it was a good size. I know people told me it's small, and I looked at it looked small. But it was actually a good size, sitting on a big stone and stuff like that. It was definitely bigger than me. So I thought that was pretty cool to be able to get that experience and see that, But interesting statue for sure. Then after that, I'm just walking around. I did end up eating at a food. There was some street food around. So it was like... it was a bunch of different places, street food carts out there. And one guy ended up stopping me because of my camera. He was like, oh, what kind of camera is that? And so we had a conversation and all that. And he was like, man, you should try this sandwich. I was like, okay, I'm heading somewhere first. Then when I come back, I'm going to come try that sandwich, And I seen the smorgasbord. I just didn't get a chance to try it. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I got full off that sandwich when we got back, But I ended up going to Christiania, walking around and stuff. That place was huge. It was very huge. I didn't even realize how huge it was until you start walking around. I thought I was in a maze. I couldn't get out of there at first. But, it was pretty cool. It wasn't too packed with people or nothing like that. But I thought that was awesome just seeing that, especially after seeing videos and stuff. I'm looking at these questions because I got some questions coming up. But, yeah, after I went there, Came back, and had that nice sandwich, man. That was a good sandwich. I got some homemade lemonade, just in that area. I wanted to go back, but guys, I was so tired. By the time I made it back, that's how my video ended the way it ended. By the time I made it back, guys, I think I took a 3-hour nap. All my devices were going dead. I think my phone was on like 5%. I got home. I got to the hotel, laid down. I was out for like 3 hours. Didn't even realize it, So, but yeah, man, and I had a great time in Denmark. I wish I would have stayed one more day, which was the original plan. But hey, I definitely got to come back. I was just telling my wife, I'm like, I know we got to go back there. I know some of the smaller towns in Sweden, a lot of people are saying, hey, we it's still different than Stockholm. It would probably be like your experience in Denmark. So definitely got to go back to Copenhagen where I was in Urstrad. I just like the area, man. It was nice. The sunrise, sunsets looked awesome, man. So Denmark, definitely. I owe you a week. I owe you a week for sure. And like the Gothenburgs and all that stuff, I owe them some too. But we got our first question here. Said living in Skåne, which until 1658 was Danish. I wonder, what did you experience as the biggest difference with Denmark as country compared to Sweden? Have a safe journey back. I think the difference was, I always say, even when I was explaining to people back home, I was like, Sweden reminded me, at least that part of Stockholm reminded me of New York. If I was compared to Texas, it reminded me of New York. I said when I got to Denmark, in my area that I was at, it reminded me of like here we have Frisco. I know people familiar with Dallas, Texas and stuff, but around in those areas, we have like Frisco, Plano, and all those things. And those areas are real nice, very expensive. I'm not going to lie. When I was over here, I just knew it was a very expensive area in Urstrad. People say it was boring. So that means it's probably expensive, and it looked expensive, So I say that was the difference. People were a little bit nicer. I wouldn't even say people were mean to me in Sweden. People just doing their own thing. I feel like in Denmark, when I made eye contact with people, they smiled back and did all those things like that. But outside of that, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't no negative vibes in neither country or nothing. I enjoyed both of them. But yeah, that's my difference I can say with Denmark. Is it easier to feel comfortable? This is Landerson 8173. Is it easier to feel comfortable in Denmark after already having spent a few days in Stockholm? I mean, with the culture and language difference from the U.S., is there a difference between the vibe of Stockholm and Copenhagen? Absolutely. I felt a different vibe. This definitely was a different vibe, and I felt a lot comfortable once I got to Denmark. And I think that's because by that time, just by being in Sweden for 3-4 days, it made me comfortable, and I just knew what I was doing by then. It was very comfortable once I got to Denmark, because just walking the streets of Sweden, like I was never scared, never feared or anything like that. Nothing was happening. I did see some protesting in Sweden though. That's what I forgot to mention. I've seen some protesting and stuff, but other than that, by the time I made it to Denmark, yeah, I was comfortable. At that point, I felt like I was living in Europe for a couple of years at that point. That's why I was like, man, I wish I could have stayed longer, because I started getting comfortable. I started getting very comfortable, man. This is ATVB981. What is your experience with the Danish people? Because I've heard we can be rude or ignorant, but what is your take on that? Like I said, nobody was definitely rude or ignorant to me. I had my most conversations in Denmark, like I said, people smiling, people giving me the head nod, like I said, the food truck I went to, the people, they stopped me, had a conversation with me. I ate there and stuff. And we were just talking. Like, that was the first conversation I done had since I was there in Europe. That's the full conversation. The only conversations I had were probably in Copenhagen, just with people I didn't know, or they seen my camera, and that sparked the conversation. So I thought that was pretty cool. It wasn't like they were just trying to, let's talk to him so we can sell a sandwich. No, that place was busy. Everybody was out eating, enjoying the weather. So people would come and going wherever they wanted to eat. So it was real nice. Very nice. Then bottom 11.96 is the sausages still as tasty, the red ones. I don't know what one I had, but because mine was wrapped in bacon, but that thing was good. That hot dog was good, man. I wish I can go back and have another one because that thing was very, very tasty. I can still taste it a little bit, but I told my wife, I said, I got to make hot dogs like that because that thing was delicious. But other than that, I don't think there were any more questions, outside, of course, of the ones that I got from Sweden. How did your experience with atmosphere with the people go? As I told you, I probably had my most conversations in Denmark. I seen a lot of different people. The thing too in Denmark, I seen a lot of different people from other parts of Europe. Like I said by a guy that was French. I think I heard, what other language did I hear? I heard some other languages too. Maybe German. Of course, I heard German too in Sweden. But yeah, there was a lot of different other countries nearby. I think Italian. So then the train ride to Stockholm from Denmark. Okay, we already answered that. But yeah, man, I hate that I didn't get the chance to go to those other parts in Denmark. Like I said, I walked 5 hours all Denmark. Like that's how much I really loved seeing what I loved. That's how I know I loved what I was seeing in Denmark because like I had my watch and it said I was breaking records out here on my calories and stuff. Because Denmark was the place I walked the most. I walked the most in Denmark. Just love the scenery. Like even that last day, man, I was like almost in tears because I'm like, man, why is this my last day? Although ready to be home, but I'm like, dang, I just wanted one more day here, which was supposed to be the original plan. But I'm just like, man, I wish I had one more day. So I'm walking around. I went and ate a big meal in the mall, of course, because it's right there. Because I'd already ate when I was in New Haven. I keep forgetting how to say it. But I ate a meal in the mall, big meal. But after I finished, I went back out and walked around. Real nice. I was actually by an arena and all that stuff. So I was walking around just my area for like 2 hours. I was just like, man, I'm going to miss this place. Definitely got to come back, man. But Denmark, definitely 10 out of 10 experience. I loved it. I loved it there. Like I said, I wish I would have been able to go to like a Gothenburg or something. I did want to visit Visby, but I just knew I was just trying to figure it out on my own. I could have had somebody help me and did all that, but I was just trying to experience and figure it out on my own just to see how I'll be able to move around and stuff. And now that I got that experience, like the next time, definitely going to have somebody guide me and do all those. Definitely going to go to more towns and stuff. Hopefully I can stay longer. As you know, once I got home, I came right back to work. Y'all know I coach and I teach now. So I'm busy in the summertime. That's just how it is. That's just how it goes. I had to come back to work. If anything, I would have stayed 2 weeks. Now just going there and visiting for a week. Other than the traveling, because those flights are super long. Other than that, I feel like it was a great experience to get out and do something. So I enjoyed it. Definitely got to do it again. Like I said, I know some people gave me some other places to visit in Copenhagen. I was okay with. I like the place that I stayed at. The hotel. Like I said, the hotel was real nice, real cool. 24-hour service. I think I woke up and got a drink at like 1:00 because my throat was dry. But other than that, great views. I really enjoyed it, man. Definitely going to be working harder to get the family there. Definitely going to be saving up to get the family there eventually, man, because it was just a cool experience just to be in another country, man, and just realizing you're in another country, especially when it comes to the languages and stuff. Like I said, once I stepped off the plane, all I just heard was other language. Didn't hear that much English. But when I was heading home, I started hearing a little bit more English though, man. But other than that, that's all I have for this video. If y'all have any more questions, don't hesitate to ask. I don't mind doing a part 2 of this, answering more questions. It was a lot. I was on a plane and I posted a video and it was a lot of comments. So if I didn't get to you or just liked it, it's because it was a lot of comments flooding and I didn't get to see them all, especially being on a plane with no Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But that's all I have. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Hey, like I said, send me those recommendations. Y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.